Marvel dropped the ball. Marvel dropped the ball big time on A-Aron, man. A-Aron Pierre, man. This young man, he was attached. He was supposed to star in the Mahershala Ali Blade movie, not as Blade, but I can see this young man playing Blade, starring as Blade. I'm not sure exactly what character he was going to play in the Blade movie, but he's no longer attached to the movie. But after watching Rebel Ridge, I almost about to say Hacksaw Ridge, but oh yeah, he did the doggone thing in this movie. Like this movie here was straight up designed for him to show his action range. All right, because this is a big year for this young man. I didn't realize he was the voice of Mufasa in the upcoming Mufasa prequel. I was already gonna see that movie, but I'm looking forward to seeing, or hearing him voice Mufasa. I think that's gonna be a pivotal role for him, and I think eventually, somehow, he's gonna circle his way back to Marvel, or they're gonna circle their way back to him. And this time, because see, we didn't know what role he was gonna play in Blade. Well, I didn't. The next role he plays, if he's gonna be in the MCU, we're gonna know he's gonna be a star. Matter of fact, you know what? Keep Mahershala Ali as Blade. Have A-Aron Pierre be Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel, hell yeah. Yeah, have him be Blue Marvel. I think that'll be dope. But Rebel Ridge, this movie here, man, like this movie reminds me of growing up watching Rambo, the first Rambo movie. If you love the first Rambo movie, you're gonna love this movie. Well, you're gonna love the first half of this movie because the first half of this movie, like my blood was boiling. Like I wish I could check my blood pressure. My blood pressure was probably off the charts. The first half of this movie. All right. Um, also stars Don Johnson, the legendary Don Johnson. Okay, father of Dakota Johnson. All right, from 50 Shades of Grey and Madam Web. All right. Still haven't seen Madam Web. I'm gonna have to check that movie out eventually. It's on Netflix too. But they both had this they both had this cat and mouse game going on between them two. And I think they both give out some real good performances on this movie. I mean, Don Johnson, like like he's so smooth and cavalier on this. It's like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he was just winging it and not doing it off the script. If he just freestyling it. Not saying the script is bad and not saying him freestyling it is bad, but it's like it was very, very believable. And normally we see Don Johnson as, I know for me growing up, I would see Don Johnson always like in good guy roles. But man, they did the doggone thing on this movie, y'all. They did the doggone thing as far as acting. Matter of fact, also Pam Beasley's ex fiance, Roy from The Office, is in this movie. And he is annoying. Like the cops in this movie is straight up ridiculous, man. But it reminds you like of those cops that was in that first Rambo movie, man. I know y'all not as old as I am, so and you're probably like, Rambo, really, really, Sylvester Stallone? Go check out Rambo. All right. That is one of the best action movies ever made. Go back and check it out. It reminds me of that and also a cross between Walking Tall. From my understanding, Walking Tall was originally a series, I think, but back in 2004, 2005, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he did a remake of it, and I liked that movie. I thought it was pretty good wholesome action movie. So it reminded me a combination of those two movies. So if those two movies had a baby, this is what you would get, especially in the first half of this movie. All right. But the thing about it is, like, the first hour of the movie is very, very intense. And you're like, okay, I like where this is going. But then they do what I believe a lot of unnecessary stuff just to make this movie to be 2 hours and 10 minutes long. And it didn't have to be. Like, this movie would have been so dope if it was about 85 minutes long. Okay. I think this movie would have been a great movie on a scale of 1 to 10. I probably would have given it a 9 if it was about 85 minutes long. But it was just too long. The second half was just, oh my goodness, it was draining. It was hard for me to stay awake. All right. And I had a good night's sleep last night. But I do believe that as far as like For those of you who are unfamiliar with with Aaron, the young man's name is Aaron Pierre. Okay, I say A-Aron because I'm piggybacking off Keegan Michael on I was gonna say on Chappelle show, man, on the Key and Peele show. All right, where he was the substitute teacher. Where's A-Aron? All right, so I'm not Aaron Pierre. I'm not trying to disrespect your name, sir. That's just how I say A-Aron. All right, but this dude here showed that he can do action movies. He shows I thought, and I wouldn't be surprised, like a lot of his lines and how he delivered it, it wasn't exactly on the script, but I felt like he made it fit him. He made it fit him, and I thought he did a phenomenal job. He's him and Don Johnson and the young lady who plays Summer. They're definitely the main reasons why I believe people should watch this movie. They give some brilliant performances, but the script, the direction of the movie in that second half, it was just, oh man, it's like we don't really need this right here. It's a lot of unnecessary stuff. But I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, it was straight to Netflix. I'm not sure if they had any plans of this movie ever going to the movie theater, but if it was in the movie theater, I don't think it would have did very well. Not unless they would have chopped this movie down to no more than 85, maybe 90 minutes at the most. Now I'm over at 87. Anything more than 87 minutes, and people like that's not long. I mean, that's good enough. I'm telling you. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. Plenty great movies. 85 minutes long, 88 minutes long. You know how I know they was that long? Because I used to go to Blockbuster Video, and on the back they'll have the description of the movie, who starred in the movie, and they'll have how long the movie's runtime. Okay, yes, I paid attention to stuff like that. All right, but I mean, it is entertaining, man. Especially that first hour, man. Like the first hour of the movie, like scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 9. I would give it about a 9. As far as Netflix movies, no non-theatrical release, I will give it a 9. And I felt like the first hour of the movie, like if they would have just if the rest of the movie is probably about 15 to 20 minutes long, it would have did decent at the movie theaters for real. But that second half really brought it down. But it did pick back up a little bit. But that was more of the closing scenes where Aaron Pierre was, of course, as the star of the movie, he had to close the movie out. So I thought he did a real good job as being a closer. There go my sports analogy coming in, right? But overall, as a whole, I'm gonna give this movie a scale of 1 to 10. I give it a 6.5. It's a good, entertaining watch. I don't see myself really watching it again. I don't know. Maybe if my wife want to watch it with me or something, she want me to watch it with her. Yeah, maybe. But but I would say, it's a good action movie to also. I think you can let your kids watch this movie as far as action movies, because this reminds me how what I used to watch as a kid growing up. I used to watch a lot of movies like this. Well, maybe I wasn't supposed to have been watching those movies, but I think I turned out all right. You got to know your children, okay? So don't say student at the game said it's okay for my kid to watch it. Well, you have to know your child, okay? Because if I said, hey, man, give me $1,000,000, are you going to give me $1,000,000? No, you're not. But anyways, I'll say, hey, check it out. If you have Netflix, check it out, all right? If you don't have Netflix, we all know somebody who have Netflix. Go over to their house. And hopefully they'll share their Netflix with you and watch it. But anyway, share your thoughts. If you've seen Rebel Ridge, tell me what did you like about it. Tell me what you did not like about it. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Student of the Game Podcast. Peace out.